Welcome to the lecture series on the subject Applied Thermodynamics. This is module 2, gas power cycles, in this lecture number 1. So let me introduce the gas turbines. So gas turbines are the prime movers producing mechanical power from the heat generated by the combustion of fuels. So this is all of you know the device which converts heat energy into mechanical energy is called as the gas turbine. So as you can see here, the air from the atmosphere, in fact it is an open cycle gas turbine what I am explaining here. So it takes in air from the compressor, takes in air from the atmosphere, compresses it to high pressure and sends it to the combustion chamber, where fuel is sprayed into the combustion chamber, and this fuel undergoes combustion, and the products of combustion, that is burnt gas at high pressure and temperature, enters the turbine and undergoes expansion and converts the heat energy into mechanical energy, and that is obtained as the work output from the turbine. So the exhaust gases are expelled to the atmosphere. So these type of turbines are used in aircraft and some automobile units, industrial installations, small sized electric power generating units. So what is explained here, as I told earlier, is the open cycle gas turbine, and it is a schematic of diagram of a simple gas turbine power plant. So how it works? So as I explained in the previous slide itself, air from the atmosphere is compressed adiabatically in a compressor in the process 1 to 2. So compressed air enters the combustion chamber where fuel is injected. It undergoes combustion. The combustion process takes place at constant pressure 2 to 3. The hot products of combustion expand in the turbine to the ambient pressure in process 3 to 4, and used up exhaust gases are let out into the surrounding atmosphere. The compressor is usually coupled to the turbine so that the work input required by the compressor comes from the turbine. You can see the compressor is usually driven by the turbine. Since the turbine produces more work than what is required by the compressor, so there is net work output available from the turbine. So that is why this entire unit is a work producing device, though the compressor is a work absorbing device. So the little work which is required to compress the air is obtained from the turbine, and the difference of turbine work minus the compressor work, because turbine work is much more than the compressor work, so the difference is obtained as the net work output and can be used for the some other purpose. The products of combustion cannot be reused, so turbine work essentially in open cycles. So the PV and TS diagrams of such plant are shown in figure below. So this is an open P diagram and the TS diagram for the open cycle. You can see 1 to 2 compression, 2 to 3 constant pressure heat addition, then 3 to 4 expansion, isentropic expansion. Similarly, it is shown here 1 to 2, 2 to 3 and 3 to 4. So 4 to 1 is not connected, indicating that the cycle is open. That means at 1 it takes fresh air from the atmosphere, and at 4 the burnt gases are expelled to the atmosphere. Now let us study one more cycle on which this gas turbine plant works. So that is the Brayton cycle. So this is the air standard cycle for the gas turbine plant. So the air standard cycle for any gas turbine plant is the Brayton cycle. So it consists of two reversible adiabatic process, so that is also called as isentropic process, and two reversible isobars or constant pressure process. So as you can see from the PV diagram here, so 1 to 2 it is written S is equal to constant. So that is a reversible adiabatic process. Similarly 3 to 4, that is compression and expansion. So 1 to 2 is the compression and 3 to 4 is the expansion. So both compression and expansion are the reversible adiabatics or the isentropic process, whereas 2 to 3, which is the constant pressure heat addition process, and 4 to 1 is a constant pressure heat rejection process. That means there are two reversible isobars or the constant pressure process. So it is also explained or shown here in the TS diagram. 1 to 2 you can see vertical line, because this is the S entropy line, x-axis is entropy, so perpendicular to that 1 to 2 is isentropic line. Here 3 to 4 is a vertical line perpendicular to the s-axis, entropy axis. So 1 to 2 and 3 to 4 are the isentropic process, and similarly 2 to 3 and 4 to 1 are the constant pressure process. So this is explanation. Process 1 to 2 reversible adiabatic compression, process 2 to 3 reversible constant pressure heat addition, process 3 to 4 reversible adiabatic expansion, process 4 to 1 reversible constant pressure heat rejection. The schematic diagram, as you can see, so compression starts at point 1, so 1 to 2, so this is a compressor, so 1 to 2 is the compression. This is isentropic compression. Then heat addition process takes place in a heat exchanger, and then it undergoes in the turbine during the process 3 to 4, okay, 3 to 4 here, and the turbine produces some work output, that is net work output, that is turbine work minus compressor work. Finally, the gases are fed to the heat exchanger, where it is cooled again back to the initial temperature and supplied back to the compressor, right? Though this plant works on closed cycle, each of the 4 devices of the plant are considered as the steady flow device. So though it is working on closed cycle, so each of the 4 devices, which are the 4 devices? Compressor, heat exchanger, that is for top heat exchanger where heat is added, then turbine, and one more heat exchanger where heat is rejected. So all the 4 devices are considered to be steady flow devices, in the sense there is a continuous flow of the working fluid through each of these devices. The rate of flow of the working device is same in all the devices. So hence we can use the steady flow energy equation for the analysis purpose, and it can be applied for all these 4 processes, that is compression, heat addition, expansion, and heat rejection. Now you know that the steady flow energy equation is Q minus W is equal to delta H plus delta KE plus delta PE. Delta H plus delta KE plus delta PE. So this is a steady flow energy equation, PE. Okay. Here neglecting changes in kinetic and potential energies. So these 2 terms are neglected. So you will get Q minus W is equal to delta H. So delta H is nothing but Cp into delta T, as the working substance for this Brayton cycle is the air. So it's the air standard cycle. So air is assumed to be an ideal gas. So for ideal gas, delta H is equal to Cp into delta T. Now let us analyze each of these 4 devices one by one. First, let us take the compressor. So the process 1 to 2, that is compression, is the reversible adiabatic or isentropic. So Q1 to 2 is equal to 0. So this is a characteristic of the isentropic process. There is no heat transfer. So from this equation you will get W1 to 2 is equal to minus Cp delta T, or minus Cp into T2 minus T1. So this quantity is negative because it is compressor, it requires work input. Now when you write work of compression, so since you are using the word of compression here, so answer should be positive. Then you would write modulus of 1 to 2, W1 to 2, that means just Cp into T2 minus T1. No need to write minus outside the outside here. Okay. Now process 2 to 3 is a constant pressure process. So W2 to 3 is equal to V into dP. So dP is 0 because of the constant pressure, no change in pressure. So then it becomes Q is equal to delta H. That means Q2 to 3 is equal to delta H. So delta H for the process 2 to 3 is nothing but Cp into T3 minus T2. So this is always positive because T3, the temperature at the end of the combustion, is much higher than the entry to the heat combustion chamber or the heat exchanger. So heat exchanger can also be considered as a combustion. Actually combustion takes place when the heat is added to the air, because if the combustion, there is no mixing. So heat from external source is added to air. So hot air enters the turbine, then it is cooled in the heat exchanger here, and so that's why the same air can be supplied again to the compressor, and thus it can work on closed cycle. So heat added here is Q1, it is denoted as Q1 or Q2 to 3 is equal to Cp into T3 minus T2. Now coming to process 3 to 4, so it is reversible adiabatic expansion. It is in the turbine, so it is a isentropic expansion or reversible adiabatic expansion. So once again there is no heat transfer. Q3 to 4 is equal to 0. And W3 to 4, so minus Cp delta T minus Cp, so final temperature is T4 minus initial temperature, but here T4 is less, T3 is more, so you can write it as Cp into T3 minus T4, and this quantity is positive. Since it is a turbine, so work output is always positive. And coming to the last unit, that is this heat exchanger here, where heat is rejected. Since it is a constant pressure process, so W4 to 1 is equal to 0. So Q4 to 1 is equal to Cp delta T, that is Cp into T1 minus T4. So this T1 temperature, that output of this heat exchanger, its temperature is less than the inlet temperature. So this quantity is negative, and it is written as minus Cp into T4 minus T1, because T1 minus T4 is negative, so minus taken outside, and inside the bracket the quantity is made positive by writing highest minus lowest temperature difference, that is T4 minus T1. So it is negative because the heat is rejected. You can see it rejects heat. So any heat rejection or going out of the system is negative, whereas this is the heat entering into the system, so it is taken as the or considered as the positive. So for this you can write Q2 is equal to Q4 to 1 is equal to Cp into T4 minus T1. Now coming to the cycle efficiency, as you know, eta is equal to 1 minus Q2 by Q1. So Q2 is equal to Cp into T4 minus T1, and Q1 is Cp into T3 minus T2. So Cp gets cancelled, so you'll get eta is equal to 1 minus T4 minus T1 divided by T3 minus T2. Now for the isentropic process 1 to 2, as all of you know, T2 by T1 is equal to P2 by P1 to the power gamma minus 1 by gamma. Similarly for the process 3 to 4, that is also isentropic process, you can write T3 by T4 is equal to P3 by P4 to the power gamma minus 1 by gamma. Now here pressure P3 is equal to pressure P2 and P4 is equal to P1. So from the previous two lines you can write T2 by T1 is equal to T3 by T4. That means rewriting that, you can write T4 by T1 is equal to T3 by T2, subtracting 1 from both sides. T4 by T1 minus 1 is equal to T3 by T2 minus 1, or T4 minus T1 by T1 is equal to T3 minus T2 by T2. So rewriting again, T4 minus T1 divided by T3 minus T2 can be written as T1 by T2. This is very important, because at the end of the efficiency expression you had the term eta is equal to 1 minus this quantity T4 minus T1 divided by T3 minus T2. So that can be replaced now as T1 by T2. But 1 to 2 is the isentropic process, so T1 by T2, as you know already, it's P1 by P2 to the power gamma minus 1 by gamma, and also it is V2 by V1 to the power gamma minus 1. So here 1 to 2 is the compression process, so ratio of V1 by V2 is nothing but the compression ratio. Similarly P2 by P1 is nothing but the pressure ratio. So replacing T1 by T2 as V2 by V1, right? So it can be written as 1 minus 1 by Rc to the power gamma minus 1, that is eta Brayton is equal to 1 minus 1 by Rc to the power gamma minus 1, that is in terms of compression ratio. Similarly pressure ratio Rp is equal to P2 by P1, so eta Brayton is T1 by T2, that is 1 minus T1 by T2. So what is 1 minus P1 by P2 to the power gamma minus 1 by gamma? So this term can be brought to the denominator and can be written as 1 by Rp to the power gamma minus 1 by gamma. So this is the expression for the efficiency in terms of pressure ratio and the compression ratio for the Brayton cycle. Now you know that this is also the expression for the efficiency of the Otto cycle, that is Otto cycle efficiency, that you will come to study in the first module where you study various air standard cycles like Otto cycle, diesel cycle, dual cycle. So there I will show this, that efficiency of the Otto cycle is also equal to 1 minus 1 by Rc to the power gamma minus 1. Okay. Now coming to the applications, so closed cycle gas turbine plant is used in gas cooled nuclear reactor plant, where the source is a high temperature gas cooled reactor supplying heat from nuclear fission directly to the working fluid. So this is the application of the closed cycle gas turbine plant working on Brayton cycle. Now comparison between Otto cycle and the Brayton cycle. Since Otto cycle you are yet to study, let me tell you Otto cycle. So 1 to 2, so it has the same compression line. 1 to 2 compression process is there. Then 2 to 3 is the constant volume heat addition, and 3 to 4 is the expansion, and 4 to 1 is the heat rejection. That is the Otto cycle. Here it is 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and 4 to 1. Right? So this is a constant volume. You can see both are the heat addition and heat rejection in case of Otto cycle takes place at constant volume. Anyhow, I am going to explain this again in the first module. Now coming to the Brayton cycle, so 1 to 2 is same, this line, in fact from here to here 1 to 2, but 2 to 3 dash is the constant pressure heat addition. You can see 2 to 3 dash is a constant pressure process, P is equal to C. Then 3 dash to 4 dash is the expansion. Here 3 dash to 4 dash is the expansion, and 4 dash to 1 once again constant pressure heat rejection, you can see here. So here when I compare two cycles, you should be on the same basis. So the basis is same compression ratio. So it is compression ratio V2 by V1. You can see V2 by V1. So it is 1 to 2. Compression process is same. So V2 by V1, V1 by V2 is the compression ratio. So it is same for both the cycles, right? Then same work output. So you can see the area under this diagram Otto cycle is this. Okay, let me draw that. This is the Otto cycle up to here. For Brayton cycle, the area is from here. So this additional area is there. So this area which is there for the Brayton cycle, so that is available for the Otto cycle here. So assuming these two areas are same, so the area under the PV diagram for the Otto cycle and the Brayton cycle are assumed to be same, so that there is same net work output. Okay. So the Brayton cycle handles larger range of volume and smaller ranges of pressure than the Otto cycle. So the volume of gas are handled by the Brayton cycle is more, and it also handles smaller range of pressure when compared to the Otto cycle, because you can see PV diagram maximum pressure goes up to P3 for Otto cycle, whereas it is only up to P2 for Brayton cycle. So the pressure range is less. A Brayton cycle is not suitable as the basis for the working of reciprocating type of devices. So here Otto cycle is used in piston cylinder IC engines, so piston cylinder arrangements, but whereas the Brayton cycle is not suitable for reciprocating type of devices, because a reciprocating engine cannot efficiently handle large volume flow of low pressure gas like in turbine. So turbine handles large volume flow rate at low pressures, which cannot be done by a reciprocating engine. The engine size, that cylinder size, becomes very large and friction losses becomes excessive. Suppose if you use for the this large volume flow rate at a low pressure. So Otto cycle is therefore more suitable in case of reciprocating engines. However, a Brayton cycle is more suitable than Otto cycle for the turbine plant. So when it comes to gas turbine plant, its Brayton cycle is more suitable than the Otto cycle. An IC engine is exposed to the highest temperature only intermittently. So only during the power stroke or during combustion, not even power stroke, during combustion. So combustion products reaches very high temperature. So only for intermittent time, so the IC engine materials are exposed to the high temperature, and rest of the time, so there is no heating or exposure to the high temperature, so that there is enough time for the cooling process. On the other hand, a gas turbine being a steady flow device, so it is continuously exposed to the high temperature. There is nothing like suction, compression, expansion and power, or there is nothing like a momentary combustion like in case of IC engine. So here constantly heat is added to the air or the gas, and constantly it is supplied to the gas turbine. It is continuously constant temperature gas or the air is supplied to the turbine. So that is why it is a steady flow device continuously exposed to the highest temperature. Since the gas turbine is exposed to the high temperature continuously, so metallurgical considerations limit the maximum temperature that can be used. Moreover, in steady flow machines, it is easier to transfer heat at constant pressure than at constant volume. So constant volume heat addition takes place in case of IC engines, that is in Otto cycle, right? Whereas in gas turbines, so heat addition takes place at constant pressure and it is much easier to do that. Besides, turbines can be efficiently handle large volume of gas flow. That is one of the advantages which cannot be done by the IC engines or the Otto cycles. In view of all this, the Brayton cycle is more suitable as the basis for the working of gas turbine plants. So with this, I conclude this lecture number 1 of this gas power cycle and will meet you with the lecture number 2. Thank you.